boxer. Let's get this show on the road. All right, go.
What are you filming?
Yeah.
Forget.
Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Go. Come on.
Hi, I'm Geoff. No.
Take 2.
G'day guys, this is Geoff, and today we're cooking something a little bit fancy. So I've lit a fire in the Kamado Joe, setting up for 2-zone cook today. So I've got a deflector plate on the left with a grill grate up high for protection for the lamb. I'm also doing some potatoes on the side as well, which I'm going to roast off on that side. And on that side, an unprotected grill grate to sear off the lamb when it's cooked through a bit later on. Okay, let's crack on with the red wine jus. So for the red wine jus, we're going to kick off with creating a basic mirepoix, which in this case is 1 finely diced carrot, 1 finely diced stick of celery, and 1 chopped onion. I'm going to cook off some chicken drumsticks to add some meaty depth to the sauce. We'll crack on with that now. So we're going to season this chicken up with a little bit of salt and pepper, some garlic powder, and a little bit of paprika. Get these bad boys on. There we go. You could use any cut of chicken or meat here to get this flavour into the pan. Because we don't have any pan juices because we're cooking on the Kamado Joe, it's great to add this for the depth of flavour into the dish. You could use lamb offcuts, chicken wings, chicken necks, anything like that. I had these chicken drumsticks handy, so I'm going to use these and I'm going to save them for lunch tomorrow. So I've removed the chicken from the pan, and you can see we're left with all this beautiful kind of brown stuff in the bottom of the pan, this caramelly brown stuff in the bottom of the pan, which is all goodness, all amazing flavour. We're now going to sear off our vegetables and get this red wine jus happening. So in we go with our veg. So next we want to add 1 cup of chicken broth. You could also use beef broth here if you like. And a cup of red wine. I'm using a pretty full-bodied Shiraz. A stick of rosemary. 2 tablespoons of balsamic. 1, 2. About a dessert spoon of brown sugar, tablespoon of brown sugar. Beautiful. Give that a mix. Now I've got that caramelized stuff in there from the earlier frying off of that chicken, so I'm not quite sure how salty it is yet. I'll wait to adjust the seasoning until we're at the end because I don't want to over salt it. That's the worst thing that can possibly happen. Pretty hard to reverse that, so we'll wait till we get to the end and we'll season with salt and pepper if it needs to be. We need to just simmer this jus down until it gets to a point of where we can kind of draw the spoon back and we can see it's getting a bit syrupy. We can see now it's not quite there just yet. Probably about 3 minutes away or so. Right, so you can see this is thickening a little bit, and when I drag the spoon you can see that that's starting to leave a little trail behind. So that's ready to strain. We're going to strain that into a bowl now. Put this all through the sieve. And we don't want to waste anything. We'll push all this stuff through here. You can see that's just coming through. Squeezing all the juice out of that vegetable as much as I can get out of it. And we'll just discard these vegetables into the bin. Alright, so pour this back into the pan. Heat back on. It's got a tiny bit more reducing to do. We're going to take this down to it's just a touch thicker, and then we'll add some butter to finish. Got to keep a real close eye on it now to make sure we don't take it too far. A great test again, as I said, is always to just drag the spoon. You can see that trail. I want to set it just a touch thicker, probably about 20 more seconds. You can see it's kind of getting darker as well the more we reduce, and that flavour's just getting more and more intense. And we're here. You can see that now. Now time to add the butter. Heat off. Add in a rather irresponsible amount of butter. Let's be honest. That's it. And we just want to swirl that around. And that butter is going to make that sauce glossier. Give it a little taste up. And just as I suspected, because of all the seasoning we added to that chicken fry, that doesn't really need anything. That tastes amazing. And this butter's not even swelled in yet, so definitely doesn't need any more salt, no more pepper. We're all good there. And I'm going to double dip the spoon, but on its own it doesn't matter. I mean, look at this. Look at this glorious, beautiful jus. Alright, so I've got our beautiful rack of lamb here. Lovely French from the butcher. I've cleaned it up a little bit, but I haven't really done very much, so didn't bother doing that. We just want a tiny little bit of olive oil. Today I want to keep the flavours really clean on the lamb, so we're just going to go with a basic salt and pepper. Add some beautiful cracked pepper. Salt, and for some herb, just a touch of dried thyme, not too much, just a smidge. Beautiful. Do the back side as well. Okay, Joe's up to temp. We're going to get our lamb rack on. I've inserted a probe. You can see there, just in the centre. And that's all the way up into the middle of the lamb. So I'm going to just get that on the indirect side. That guy just there. There we go. We're going to roast this guy off until we get to 52 degrees Celsius, which is a nice rear temp for the lamb. And then we're going to set it aside, bring the Joe up to a searing temperature, and then we're going to sear it off on the right side. And we'll be back then. Okay, our lamb's reached a core temperature of 52. It actually just clicked over to 53 before I started this video, so we're going to get this off right now. Okay, pull out our probe. So this is basically at a rare temp right now. What I'm going to do is take this off We'll fire up the Joe to around about 250, 260 degrees Celsius or around 500 Fahrenheit. And we'll sear off the lamb to give it a beautiful golden crust. Let's take this guy off. Awesome. Alright, we're going to get this lamb sealed off. We're going to give it a couple of minutes on each side. You can see I've covered the bones with foil. That's nice and hot. And cover the bones with foil just to protect them from getting too dark. 2 minutes each side. Alrighty, first side done. Turn this guy over. And I really want to get sort of the top, so I'll rest it there so it gets that bottom part rather than just more of the rack bit. Close that down, 2 more minutes. 2 minutes working. Let's have a look. Look at that. Magnificent. That looks sensational. Alrighty. Let's get this inside and we'll give it a little rest. Beautiful. Alright, let's see how we did. Beautiful. We'll just turn over and go with the bone. So magnifique. That is just blushing. That is exactly as I want it to be. Yeah.
What are you doing?
What do you mean? No, it's all good. No.
It's disgusting. Stop.
No.